You write down my plan for your life and leave it up to me. All I want you to do is step in faith. But you see, when you say one day when, you cannot step in faith. You've got to be able to imagine something which is already complete as if it does. You know what's amazing is when you imagine there are no obstacles. There are no obstacles. Has anybody ever been into a restaurant before? Let me see, who's been into a restaurant? Have you noticed when you walk into a restaurant, there's lots of tables and chairs? Have you noticed that? Now when you walk into the door, do you stop at the first obstacle, the first table and chair, and start moving it out of the way so that you can get to that one in the corner that you want to go and sit in? No, you don't do that. I mean, if you're sitting in the restaurant, you don't go and start saying, I can't get out here because of all the obstacles. You don't do that. You see, the obstacle simply defines the path. If I look at all these chairs up here, it's very clear where I should go. I don't look at the door and say, oh dear, I can't get there because of all these obstacles. But as an entrepreneur, you've got to be careful that you don't get into that situation where you see the chairs and you think you've got to now sort out and move all the chairs instead of just walking down the pathway. The obstacle defines the path. Your imagination is about the things that do not exist. Now, you are entitled to use your imagination any way you choose. And there's some people here who might think they no longer have an imagination. And the reason they think that is because they are abusing their imagination. They are abusing the very gift that is given to them. And when you abuse this gift, it is spelled differently. It's spelled like this, and maybe you can write it down. W-O-R-R-Y. Do you know anybody who worries? Well, that's imagination. Imagination is when you think about things that can go wrong as if they are, and you stay awake at night. You worry that that girl is going to not like you. And you lie awake all night thinking about it because you did something silly. Worry is imagination. It's thinking about things that could go wrong as if it's already happened. So, imagination is alive and well. We just need to change it. What I find interesting in our schooling system is that we've been taught whenever you want to do something new, is make a list of pros and cons. Did your mother ever teach you that? Your father? Yeah, if you want to make a big decision in life, write down a list of the things that are for and against, the pros and the cons. And what's interesting is we write down what can go right and we write down what can go wrong. So both of those lists are equally as powerful. Why is it that we believe the things that can go wrong instead of believing the things that can go right? Isn't it amazing how we make decisions based on what can go wrong instead of what can go right? Now you live that one other way. The one just requires faith. The other one, fear is present. A is to ask. We were born to ask why, not how. Remember this, the people who know how will always work with the people who know why. If you have a house to build, you don't have to be an architect, but the architect with a degree that took him 7 years to get will come and work with you. Why? Because he knows how, you know why. Ask why. How is called the seed of doubt. So whenever you use your imagination, which is the third letter, and you see something that does not exist, the seed of doubt will instantly be sown by the question, but how are you going to be able to do that? Because you see, the smallest seed of doubt cancels out any faith. If you want to have strong faith in your life, all you have to do is banish doubt. When you banish doubt, let things become.
Sure.
It will allow you to not only ask the question, but to begin to explore in those places that previously you were afraid to go into. Imagination is a great very powerful. So A-E-I, what's the next letter? O. Okay, O. We got the letter O. We mustn't forget about the letter O. I noticed this evening that everyone that came in the door, young and old, except for, where is the young one gone? Oh, that's not so young. Him as well. Every single person came through that door walking on their own 2 feet. Did you notice that? Now, were you born to walk? Or were you born walking? No, you weren't. You had to set a goal. So you looked at everybody around you and said, I want to do that. But you couldn't understand them. You couldn't hear them saying, be careful, watch out, you might hurt yourself. The parents were there worrying that you might bash your head, cut open your eye, do something. But you ignored them, irrespective. Even sometimes you fell down, you hit your head. You know what you did? You did the most natural thing in the world to do, and that was you got up again. Some of you may have taken 8 months to learn to walk. Others could have taken a year. Some maybe 18 months before they started walking. Some of you are still trying. I'm joking. We go through this learning process, but you know there's one thing that's absolutely clear. Every single one of us, irrespective of how long it took you to the point where your mother and father could say, she's taken her 10th step. And everybody on Facebook and Twitter all knew that you were able to walk. We all learned to walk the same way, and it was we simply got up one more time and we fell. You see, we are born to overcome. And the letter O is about overcoming. You and I have the ability. It doesn't matter how life knocks you down. It doesn't matter what happens out there. The most natural thing to do is to get up. There is no such thing as failure. Every time you get knocked down, it's an opportunity to learn something. And unless you learn the lesson, only then have you failed. But a failure can become your best success, because in that moment, you can learn something. Les Brown said, if life knocks you down, make sure that while you're down there, you pick something up. He says, in the good times, you put it in your pocket, but the tough times, you put it in your heart.
Sure.
And it's those times that you begin to learn. You and I are born to overcome. Don't come and tell me about your past. These people that live in the city, that all they can do every time you tell them is about the past. And as long as you're holding on to the past, you are stuck there. Yeah. You've got to let that thing go and realize where the future lies. Yes. You don't need your imagination to see the past. You need your imagination to see the future.
Sure. Good.
So we were given things for the things that do not yet exist. So don't spend your time talking about the past things. You are born to overcome. It's the most natural thing to do. There's one last letter. A-E-I-O-U. It sounds like you, doesn't it? Well, I'm going to tell you that you are unique. You are a one of a kind. There is no one else that has your fingerprint. We've known that for some time. But in the 60s, they discovered that we have something else that makes us different. It's called DNA. And although there's 3.5 billion characters in DNA, that means if you write a 200-page book and you counted all the characters in there, you would have to stack up a heap of 6,000 books to have just the characters in one strand of your DNA. That's how unique you are, a one of a kind. There's no one else like that living today that has your DNA. In fact, there's no one else that's ever lived in the past, and no one that will ever live in the future that will be like you. I mean, I just have to look around this room and I see you have a different face to the person sitting next to you. Do you know that? I mean, that's why I can recognize you. They have cameras today that can look at you and just by the way you walk, tell you apart from other people. There are cameras sitting in London right now that can detect a criminal walking through the train station when there's thousands of other people there because they can recognize their face. That's how unique we are. Now, if we are different in every way physically, is it not possible Is it not possible that you have unique gifts and talents? And because you have unique gifts and talents, is it not possible that you will think differently to the person next to you? Absolutely. Is it not possible that you will come up with different ideas to the person next to you? Absolutely. Is it not possible that you have a solution for the things, the problems that people see in life today? Is that not possible? You see, because purpose is about meeting a need. So if you were created for a purpose, we've got to conclude that the need for your life already exists. There's a problem on this planet that you were sent to solve. And you have everything necessary to make that happen. You only can discover it when you begin to ask the right kind of questions. And it's not what do I want out of life, because that deals with only three people: me, myself, and I. But if you ask the question, what have I come to give? It involves the other 7 billion people on the planet. And then the ideas, the opportunities, and the possibilities are endless.